Great to see everybody on our program here on 5 Minutes of Faith. I want to talk about Noah. And when I think about Noah, he's such an inspiration. I believe in the story of when he built the ark. I want to begin by reading in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7. It says, "By faith Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family. By his faith, he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith." All my life, I wanted to build something of value. I wanted to commit myself to one thing completely, wholeheartedly, with all my time and all my talent. I think deep down inside all of us, it is a desire to commit to one thing with everything we got. And as a man, I like building stuff. I'm not phenomenal at building things, but I like to try. I'm a Mr. Fix-It. I can repair my son's basketball hoop, and I can do local handyman stuff around the house. So it's in my DNA to want to build and create. But deep down, I think all of us have a desire to build something of significance. Noah was warned about what was going to happen. And he was told, listen, I'm going to send the floodwaters on all the earth. So go and build an ark. And he was told to build this tremendously sized ark in the middle of dry land to save his family. A lot of us are given a calling by God. Maybe he's told you it point blank from somebody, a man or woman of faith who's talked to you and told you what it means to follow Jesus. Or maybe you've had a little voice speaking to you in your ear telling you what God really wants you to be doing, or you have a little hunch of what he wants you to be doing. But oftentimes we suppress that little voice, or we don't really give ourselves fully to it. I do recall when I was 14 years old, I had learned a little bit about Jesus. I didn't really want to follow Jesus at that time. I had sin in mind. I wanted to sin. And I remember reading that Jesus wanted me to give my whole heart to following him. And I thought, well, if I do that, there's a lot of stuff I can't do. And so I sort of suppressed my faith, my understanding of who he really was. I didn't have a large enough picture of it. And I didn't immerse myself in a lifestyle of following Jesus, not till years later. But when I finally found out that Jesus is the Lord and that he has a great adventure for me to join him on, I remember so distinctly seeing the lives of other men who had given themselves to this mission. A young man, Sutton Whitaker, was a doctor. He was in his residency at UCLA Medical School. And he had committed his life to being a disciple. And he had invited me out to a Bible study. And I remember seeing that he's a doctor, but his real mission in life was to be a disciple maker. And it inspired me. At the time, I was a stockbroker, and I was interested in building a large clientele in West LA, in Century City I worked. And I thought, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to be a multi-millionaire by the time I'm 30 was my goal. And I wanted to invest myself fully in that. But as I looked around me and I saw so many other people who had already attained a millionaire lifestyle, I noticed there was something empty in their, as I looked in their eyes, as I discussed their life. I could tell they were still seeking the very things that I thought would bring me happiness. They were not finding happiness in those things. And so I began to search for other things, and clearly learning about Jesus was the answer. And today I want to ask you, do you have the faith like a Noah to build the ark? The ark, figuratively, really is the spiritual kingdom, the spiritual family, and the spiritual framework of your life. Will you do things that even your neighbors think are odd? Like Noah in his day, building an actual physical ark would have been an odd thing, and it took faith. It took him to really believe it was necessary. Will we live our life on this earth taking a stand for sexual purity, taking a stand for a life of faith versus a life of worldly gratification and worldly deception? Truth is, the world tells us so many lies. Noah had the faith to build. I believe all of us can have the faith to build an ark to save our life. Amen.